everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to make the very best sourdough carrot cake. This recipe is perfect for any celebration, including Father's Day, which is right around the corner. You're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, some ground cinnamon, 1 cup of sugar, some farm fresh eggs, oil of choice. You're going to need freshly fed sourdough, a half cup of room temperature milk, vanilla extract, grated carrots, raisins, chopped pecans, and of course a homemade cream cheese frosting. Okay, so now you're gonna go ahead and grease your cake pans. I am using pie pans because I don't own cake pans, but I highly recommend them either in round or square. So basically you're gonna lightly grease it and then lightly flour it so your cake batter doesn't stick to your pans. Then after you are done with those, set those aside, and then in your mixer, you're gonna go ahead and add all of your dry ingredients and give it a good mix. Okay, once all of your dry ingredients are combined, you're going to go ahead and start cracking your eggs one at a time and incorporating all your wet ingredients. I would really try to make sure that you just don't plop everything in there at one time, because this is the part where you're really going to give your cake that moisture and give that cake that extra fluffiness and lightness that we desire. Last but not least, you're going to go ahead and add your sourdough. Now you can make this cake without your sourdough, but you're going to have to add more of your wet ingredients. So this recipe, I designed it around sourdough, so you can make it, like I said, without it. Finally, you're going to add your pecans and your raisins and your carrots. You can omit if you don't want to add pecans or raisins. You can do that as well. You're going to go ahead and fill each of your round cake pans or your square pan about 75% full, and then you're going to place them in a preheated oven. So your oven should be preheated at 350 degrees, and you're going to place them in the middle rack. I am putting this in my conventional oven. If you don't have a conventional oven, you still can make it. Full details of this recipe and why I use sourdough is over on my blog, which is www.riggscreekfarmhouse.net. Here I'm checking if they're done. If your toothpick comes out clean as you poke it in the center of your cake, then they are good to go. And I'm going to let these cool on a wire rack until they're completely cool, because I do not want to frost them if they're not completely cool. So that is what I'm doing here. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make my homemade cream cheese frosting, which is softened cream cheese, powdered sugar, butter, vanilla, and orange extract. Now, I think the orange extract gives it a little bit more flavor and a little bit more fun, because we are cooking with carrots and they're orange, and I just thought it was a great combination. So I'm going to whip this up until it is completely combined and completely smooth. Now we are getting ready to do the fun part. We are going to go ahead and frost one of the cakes on the top. This is when you can cut the top layer off to make it completely smooth, meaning completely even, so the cakes lay completely flat on top of each other. Boy, I can say completely a lot. I didn't do this just because I don't like to waste anything in it. I think this cake turned out just as gorgeous and just as pretty. Just with a little bit of patience, I flipped it around a couple times and we got it to lay pretty flat. So once that is done, that's when you're going to go ahead and frost the entire cake from the top, sides, you name it, and you can get as creative as you want. This is basically, I'm just using a frosting spatula to do it, smoothing out the sides, and I'm decorating it with a few shaved carrots on top, and it is perfect. I love it. I'm not an expert on decorating cakes, but if you are, you can get as creative, and if you do get creative and make this, let me know. Hashtag me on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. Send me a picture because I'd love to see it. If you do make this cake or design the frosting to look spectacular, go ahead and use the hashtag Riggs Creek farmhouse, and I'll be sure to look for it. And let me know if you make this. Everyone that I made it for loves it because it's very moist and flavorful, and they couldn't even taste the carrots. If you enjoy videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.